Okay, let's jump right into today's explainer. We're looking at a deeply moving story, and it's really all about conquering profound personal laziness, that crippling habit of just doing nothing. We're going to follow a grandfather's journey, watching him transform from a guy who literally let life pass him by into someone who finally cracked the code on how money and effort actually work together. And we kick things off with quite possibly the most counterintuitive piece of advice you could ever hear: never save money. Seriously, those were the very first words the grandfather in our story told his grandson. Now, hearing that, it's pretty shocking, right? I mean, we're all constantly taught to save for the future, but the grandfather just smiled and explained that you shouldn't just save money, you need to make it grow. To really get why he said this, we've got to look back at who he used to be. It's a bit of a mystery we need to unravel.
See, the grandfather wasn't exactly born a wise sage. Actually, in his village, people literally just called him lazy. He didn't work at all. Instead, he'd find a nice big tree, sit underneath it, stare up at the sky, and just dream. He'd tell anyone who'd listen, one day I'm gonna open a shop. One day I'll buy cows. One day I'll be rich. But you guessed it, that one day never actually arrived, simply because he took absolutely zero action to make it a reality.
And this perfectly captures the real-world problem with passive dreaming. On one hand, you have the grandfather waiting around for this magical someday. But on the other hand, the harsh, everyday reality of keeping the household alive fell entirely on the grandmother. She was the one cooking, washing, cleaning, just desperately trying to keep the family afloat. She gently warned him, dreams are beautiful, but they don't exactly fill a stomach. He'd just nod and keep right on dreaming.
But here's the thing. When doing nothing becomes your whole lifestyle, the costs start compounding, and it hurts. Days passed, then months, then years. Life just got harder and harder. Food became incredibly scarce, and eventually, the family's resources were completely wiped out. Waiting for that someday had literally cost them everything.
So what finally breaks this cycle? The turning point comes with a really heartbreaking reality check. One night, his little grandson walks up to him. The boy's barefoot, painfully thin, and just so hungry. He asks, super softly, "Grandpa, do we have bread?" The grandmother opens the cupboard and it's completely empty. No bread, no rice, nothing. Seeing his own grandchild starving is the massive wake-up call he needed. He finally realizes his lazy dreaming is actively failing the people he loves most. The brutal reality of labor, shifting from dreaming to sweating.
That image of the empty cupboard completely shattered his stagnation. He literally couldn't sleep that night. His mind was heavy, his stomach was empty, so the very next morning, he made a massive shift. He went from dreaming under that tree to actually sweating in the dirt as a field worker. And the physical toll was immense. We're talking lifting heavy tools in the blazing hot sun. His back was screaming, his feet burned, and his hands, which were pretty soft from all that tree sitting, became hard, calloused, and rough. He had definitely conquered his laziness, but man, it was an absolutely exhausting path. But then he hits his next major roadblock. Despite all this backbreaking labor, his daily pay barely made a dent. He was bringing home just enough for some beans or a couple of tortillas. He realized pretty fast that just surviving ate up every single coin he earned. Money came in and money went right back out. The food was gone, the medicine was gone, the bills were paid, but the roof, it still leaked, and the family, still hungry. Just working hard wasn't actually solving the root of the problem. Then, one day, he overhears a conversation at the village store. A guy is saying, loudly, "The secret is saving money. When you save, you are safe." Well, that completely flipped a switch for him. He decides he's going to fix his problems by taking a glass jar and hiding it under his bed. Every single week, he drops a few coins in. That little clink-clink sound, it made him so happy. It gave him this renewed sense of hope. He even told his grandson that this jar was their ticket to tomorrow. But let me tell you, filling that jar required an unbelievable amount of sacrifice. I mean, he was wearing old shoes with literal holes in them. He absolutely refused to buy new clothes. And he ate even less than before, sitting down to plates that were practically empty, just so he could hoard a few extra coins in that jar. He pushed through this daily deprivation because he was clinging to this false sense of security that his hidden money was going to save them. Finally, after months of painful, grueling sacrifice, the jar is full. The old man is bursting with pride. He feels safe. He feels like he is totally ready for whatever the future holds. He marches that jar straight to the market, slams his hard-earned money down on the table, and confidently tells the shopkeeper, "I want 3 sacks of corn." He had done the math in his head months ago. He was ready.
But he was in for an absolute shock. The shopkeeper counts out the coins, slowly shakes his head, and delivers a crushing reality check. Prices had gone up. That completely full jar, the result of months of near starvation and wearing shoes with holes, could only afford 1.5 sacks of corn, literally half of what he had planned for. And in that moment, he realized with absolute horror that his money had literally lost value while it was just sitting there in that glass jar. This is the brutal, invisible impact of inflation. Things got more expensive, which made all of his slow, agonizing saving feel entirely pointless. Think about it. He cured his laziness. He learned discipline. He learned to save. But life was still impossibly hard. He was right back to feeling that heavy burden. Shift from dreaming to doing. Moving from passive savings to active growth. So what does he do? Well, he gets inspired by watching his neighbors. He sees them living peacefully, relying on their own milk and eggs. And that is when he breaks his cycle of stagnation for good. Here was his exact playbook. Step 1, stop waiting for someday and act right now. Step 2, take the money he had left and buy a few thin chickens. Step 3, gather the eggs. They ate a few and then they sold the rest. And step 4, the most crucial part, he reinvested that money into buying more chickens. He took his static, dead savings and turned it into a living, breathing egg factory. Look at how far he's come from that lazy guy sitting under the tree. Now he's diligently managing a growing business. He actually kept little notes in a small book, counting every single egg sold and every single coin he earned. He wasn't just working hard anymore. He had taken absolute control of his financial destiny through active effort and smart management. And the emotional transformation here is just incredible. Soon, neighbors are actually coming to his house to buy eggs. The house is full of hope again, and the grandfather, he's finally smiling. Yes, he's working, but now he's working for his own future. There's this beautiful moment where his grandson hugs him and asks, "So you're not lazy anymore?" And the grandfather, with tears in his eyes, realizes that he is finally a proud provider. He isn't just surviving, he's building genuine wealth.
Which brings us right back to that opening piece of advice he gave his grandson. A jar of static money, it can finish. It loses its purchasing power over time. He learned that the hard way at the market. But a single egg, if you use it the right way, it grows. It creates more value. It literally multiplies itself. That's why he told his grandson that a single egg is infinitely more powerful than a jar of dead money.
So we want to leave you with the grandfather's ultimate realization. It's a challenge he started sharing with everyone he met. He'd say, saving money is like holding water in your hands. It will always slowly slip away. But if you use money to build something, even something small, it becomes bigger. So take a hard look at your own habits. Are you letting your potential just slip through your fingers while you wait for someday? Or are you taking action, investing, and building something that will grow? Remember, never only save money, invest, grow, because even the smallest start can absolutely change your life.